Hola a todos, bienvenidos a un nuevo programa de NBA Basket Lover presentado por Endesa, episodio muy especial, número 66.
Casi el número de la bestia, casi el número del diablo. Y el número que llevaba Scott Pollard en los Celtics el año que fueron campeones, en 2008. No jugaba nada, pero llevaba el 66.
Y el número que también llevó un gran Laker, no por su etapa en Lakers, sino porque fue número 1 del draft, Andrew Bogut. Andrew Bogut, Pensaba que
un gran
iba a decir otro.
Andrew Bogut.
Y dos
o sea, Magic Johnson, Kobe
Bryant
y Andrew Bogut.
Ahí está, lo tenemos que meter.
Y dos otros jugadores de esos equipos que están los nombres
los Jets,
mezclados.
los
Indianapolis, Falcons.
Que parece de la NFL, pero no, es de la NBA, pero del 1949.
En total 4 jugadores, pero me da igual, hoy quiero hablar de leyendas porque hoy estamos en el Salón Leyenda de aquí del NBA Café en Barcelona, porque tenemos a una leyenda con nosotros. Vendrá dentro de un momento ni más ni menos que
Steve Nash, casi lo que llevo en la camiseta.
Mi base favorito, ¿eh?
¿Tu base favorito? Eso lo dices porque viene hoy.
Desde que empecé en el mundo de la NBA. No, te lo digo en serio.
Cuando venga Luke Rittenauer dirás, no, mi base favorita.
Desde que empecé a ver la NBA, mi ídolo era LeBron James y sigue siéndolo, pero cuando vi a Steve Nash me enamoré de ese juego. Me enamoré de esa visión de juego.
Han sonado 2 campanas, una por cada trofeo MVP que tiene Steve Nash. Consecutivos, uno de los jugadores, más allá de que sea de los favoritos de Jordi, de los más bonitos de ver y un base que igual, se lo podemos preguntar luego, igual cambió el baloncesto, porque el impacto que tuvo esa forma de jugar de los Phoenix Suns y en general algunos de los bases de aquella época pueden explicar por qué hemos llegado hasta aquí, ¿no?
Exacto, de hecho eso lo vamos a hablar luego, lo podéis ver en la web de Endesa Basket Lover. Exacto. Va a ser una parte hablando de el impacto que él tuvo en la liga comparado también con jugadores de esa época. Le vamos a preguntar por todo, por su etapa en Dallas, por su etapa en Phoenix, por su etapa en Lakers.
¿Coincidió con Bogut o no?
No. Coincidió con Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, no está mal.
Y con Pau Gasol.
Con Pau Gasol y
con
Kobe.
Le preguntaremos.
No sé, no perdamos más tiempo, ¿no? Yo creo que es momento de que entre, por favor, Steve Nash.
Auténtico MVP.
Nos hace mucha ilusión. Te vamos a preguntar algunas cosas sobre tu carrera. Tú llegaste a los Phoenix Suns, estuviste 2 años y después fuiste a Dallas, donde cambió todo, ¿no? ¿Qué cambió en Dallas para que tu juego explotara y el equipo también funcionara?
In Dallas?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of hard work. I was always a little bit late. I started playing basketball at 13. I got 1 scholarship offer to play in college. I snuck my way in through the national team and into the draft and was thought of maybe as a career backup. And so a lot of hard work and just, continued on the path I started, only late, and finally caught up. And I think just all the hard work finally turned a corner where I was a little more athletic, a little more dynamic, and also just the experience of playing in the league for a few years, gave me a much more of a sharpness, ability to read the game quicker.
And Dirk Nowitzki had something to do with it too?
Well, it was a great time for us. When I got traded to Dallas, Dirk was a 19-year-old draftee, and so I moved to a new city. Dirk moved to America for the first time, and so in a sense, he was my little brother. I think I'm 4 years older, and so we lived in the same apartment complex. We pushed each other to shoot before practice, after practice, to go back to the gym at night and continue to work at our game. And you put those good days on top of good days and weeks and years, and good things happen to us. And so I think I got to play with a great player, but also a great friend and person, and somebody that was just as obsessed with getting better as I was.
Hablas justamente de un jugador de 19 años que llega a Dallas y que tiene un impacto casi inmediato. Tengo que hablar de Luka Doncic, que ha llegado a Dallas Mavericks también muy joven y que también está teniendo mucho impacto. Ha cogido el relevo de Dirk Nowitzki, ¿no? ¿Qué opinas de Luka?
Well, I think he's maybe the best 20-year-old the NBA's ever seen.
Wow.
I mean, the game's a little different than when LeBron came in the league. It's, I think the numbers are a little inflated because the pace and the hand check. But still, I mean, he I don't think LeBron was so gifted, but I don't think he was as polished as Luka at 20. Now, Luka's never going to be the athlete that LeBron is, but he's a great athlete. He's an underrated athlete. I think he with his conditioning, I know I spoke to Luka and he said he worked in the gym a lot this summer on his physicality. And so if he continues to do that, he's an underrated athlete. You can see it in moments where he turns it up a gear and he gets where he wants, but he also gets on top of the rim and rebounds and is more physical than you expect. So, I mean, he's he's going to be a Hall of Fame player if he stays healthy.
No quería ponerle en un aprieto, pero lo voy a hacer con la respuesta que me acaba de hacer. Le tengo que preguntar si cree que tiene una opción o no Luka Doncic de superar a Dirk Nowitzki como el mejor jugador europeo de todos los tiempos. Do you think
I mean,
it's possible?
It's possible. It's possible for sure. I mean, especially when you look at Dirk at 20. Look,
different.
Dirk was amazing at 20, but compared to Luka, no, because physically he was catching up. Luka already physically is there. I think Dirk played in the second division in Germany. Yeah. Luka's been playing in the EuroLeague, Real Madrid. So it's a different time. You know, Dirk was a rare thing then. You know, now it's like normal for a guy to come from Europe and be good right away, but Luka's not normal in any way. So he has a chance to be better than Dirk, and Dirk's one of the best players we've ever had. So that just says, you know, what an incredible player and talent Luka is.
Estamos viendo imágenes aquí detrás de la pantalla de la carrera de Steve Nash. Estamos viendo con la camiseta de Dallas y sobre todo con la de Phoenix Suns, que es su mejor momento. Y le quería preguntar hasta qué punto cree que aquel equipo, más allá de lo que él consiguió de ser MVP 2 veces, hasta qué punto aquel equipo cambió el baloncesto y se acercó un poco al baloncesto que estamos viviendo ahora. Do you think that team paved the way for the level of basketball that we are watching right now?
In some way, I don't like to take credit for things that are, it's kind of esoteric. It's kind of, it's impossible to say. But I think we were one of the forces, that were pushing the game in a certain direction that was unique and different at the time.
Do you like this direction right now?
Yes. Yeah. I like the NBA right now. I think it's maybe a little too far. But now that we understand the numbers, the math, it makes sense, and we can't go back because then, we were dumb to not understand the math then. No. Luckily, I wasn't the only one; it was the whole world. Yeah. But we didn't understand it now. Now that we understand the math, the game is here. Now, will it change because of the rules, because of the influence of new ingenuity? Of course, the game will be cyclical, but the three-point shot has changed everything.
Would you be better now? You were really good, one of the best
thanks.
ever.
Yeah, I mean,
would you blossom in
this game would suit me in a sense because half my career, a lot of my career, the game was much more physical. And I'm a skinny guy. I was never going to beat any of my contemporaries in a boxing match or a wrestling match.
But you tried.
I was stupid enough to try. But, so maybe this game suited me more, especially. The reason I don't like comparing eras and players is because the players of today were built off of us, who were built off of the ones before us. You watch them, you take it somewhere new, and then the rules and the globe and everything changes and the game changes, right? So you can't really compare. Like, it's easy to say, I was so much more athletic than Bob Cousy. Of course, 50 years of evolution and know-how and understanding. So you can't, so I think it's unfair when you compare in a linear way, but I think the game is great. We have so much talent right now. We know so much more about the body and about the game. And look, when I was growing up, it was really hard to watch basketball in Canada. You get some college games on the weekend and you might get an NBA game. Now you have access, the whole world has access if they want, basically to everything. So that helps the game. I mean, look at my country, Canada. When I was in the NBA, it was really rare to have a Canadian in the NBA. Now I think second most in the world, 15, 16 Canadians on NBA rosters right now. Would have thought that would never happen in my life. So everything's, it's a changing world and there's access to information everywhere. And so I love where the game's at. I think it's better than ever, and maybe it's gone a little, extreme in one sense, but it's still, I think, a better game.
La última relacionada con Phoenix, no puedo no preguntarle por otro jugador. Nos acaba de decir que no le gusta comparar jugadores y eras, pero ¿qué opinas de Ricky Rubio? What part of your game do you see in him? Do you see a little Steve Nash in him? He's not a good shooter like you were, but no, the passing, the vision.
His incredible vision, his creativity and his delivery and his vision, outstanding. He's a lot of fun to watch him. Set his teammates up and make plays for others. He's very clever. He's a competitor and he's a great teammate. So, that's something that you like. It's not in the box score. but the course of a season, being a great teammate is so important. And so I think, Ricky's presence and his ability, along with maybe Aaron Baines, has made Phoenix all of a sudden a team that can win a game every night. They're not going to win every night, but they have a chance every night.
Hemos hablado de Dallas Mavericks, hemos hablado de Phoenix Suns y ahora tenemos que hablar sí o sí de otro equipo en el que estuviste, Los Ángeles Lakers, con ese super equipo, con Dwight Howard, Kobe Bryant, Steve Nash, Pau Gasol, Ron Artest. ¿Cómo fue esa experiencia? ¿Cómo fue jugar con esos jugadores? How was the experience playing in LA with that super team?
It was on the one hand, it was a disaster because I was 39 my first year there, and broke my knee my second game. And so I broke the tib-fib joint, and my body's never been the same because I have a back issues that I managed my whole career. And then with that, there's a theory in neuropathy called a double crush, and having the two nerve issues, I'm a different person from that day. So I never really recovered from that. And so in that respect, it was an awful experience because I had really, really big aspirations in Los Angeles and to play for the big team in a city that I had planned on living in and still live in. So on that respect, it was horrible. On the other hand, it was a pleasure to play for the Lakers, a pleasure to experience that franchise and that fan base. And I learned a lot, and that experience set me up to be able to handle retirement, I think, in a peaceful way. Because I went through so much those 2 years that I started to realize retirement is going to be a really important process to my mental health and my emotional health going forward, because you have to start a new life and become somebody new in a sense and not completely identify with that person that no longer is capable of doing those things. So it was both. It was really beneficial and a great experience, and at the same time it was very disappointing.
Ahora está hablando ha sacado el tema de la retirada. En los Lakers, en aquel mítico equipo de Los Ángeles Lakers, estaba Pau Gasol. ¿Qué opinas de la situación de Pau Gasol con la lesión? ¿Se retirará? ¿Jugará los Juegos Olímpicos? What do you think about Pau Gasol's situation right now with his injury?
Yeah, so I'm not that up to date on where he's at, but I know he's stepped away from the team to recover right now. But I mean, I hope he plays as long as he can, and I hope he gets his health back in a really great way where he can move and be Pau Gasol, make plays and be that type of player that's versatile and enjoy and fun to watch and enjoyable to play with. So for me, I just would love to see Pau play as long as he possibly can and with as much mobility and freedom that he always brought to the game for someone of his size. It's always difficult at the end part of your career, and he's still, I think is youthful enough and skillful and smart enough to play for a long time if his body will help him a little bit.
Y una última pregunta, ya que hemos hablado de Dallas, Phoenix Suns y Lakers, tres equipos que están en playoff. Este año la NBA es una NBA muy abierta, no tenemos un claro ganador. ¿Quién crees que ganará? Who you think that is going to win?
I think I lean a little bit towards the Clippers from a roster standpoint. I think from the depth is really important. When you get to the playoffs. They have a lot of options offensively. They have a lot of options defensively. They have guys that can switch. In the playoffs, when you can switch a lot of things, it becomes a little harder to, a lot of matchups in the playoffs become hunting matchups. And how can I get the smallest guy on me? And, their smallest guy, Lou Williams, isn't a tremendous offensive player, maybe not defensive player, but other than that, their smallest guy is Pat Beverly, who's a terrific defender. So I think defensively they have a lot of versatility. I think offensively, those guys are, Kawhi is as good as anyone, is getting his shot in his space, and Paul George as well. So I like their depth. Now, the Lakers have two of the best players in the league and top 5, and so they're capable on any night of beating anyone, but I lean towards liking the Clippers' depth so far.
Para ir acabando, Steve Nash, como nosotros, es un aficionado al fútbol. Lo que pasa que a diferencia de nosotros, tiene un equipo de fútbol, que nosotros no. Estás aquí en Barcelona porque el Mallorca viene a jugar contra el Barça. ¿Cuántas opciones crees que tenéis de hacer algo aquí? La semana en la que Messi ha recibido su 6º Balón de Oro. No sé si eso es bueno o es malo.
Los dos. It's obviously a dream come true for our players and our team to be back in the Liga and to come to the Camp Nou and to play against the best player who's ever played football and a terrific team. So that is a beautiful position to be in, but it'll be hard. We will suffer. So It's going to be an incredible experience for all of us, but we also understand the type of team we're playing.
By the way, I'm a Gunner, I'm an Arsenal fan, I'm sorry. Él es del Tottenham, yo soy del Arsenal, pero preguntarle por Mourinho, ¿estás contento? Are you happy with the way
Tottenham? Listen, I love Mauricio Pochettino. You know, someone that lives here in Barcelona. So it was very, very difficult and sad for me to see him go. But on the positive, he's going to end up at a big, big club and be a great manager for a long time. And if there was someone to come in and under the circumstances, you know, we got a manager with a big personality who's won everywhere he's been. So, you know, it's hard to be angry when you have a winner, a coach who has that many trophies. But it's a big change. We've had 5.5 great years of Pochettino.
You're going to be better than Arsenal anyway.
Muchas gracias, Steve. No tenemos más tiempo. Esperamos verte pronto por aquí. Un placer tenerte, ¿de acuerdo?
Igualmente, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Bueno, muchas gracias Steve Nash, un verdadero lujo tenerlo aquí, pero bueno, la liga sigue y este sábado tenemos partidos, concretamente un ex equipo
de Steve Nash. Es que me pongo nervioso con esto.
El sábado a las 8, Dallas Mavericks contra New Orleans Pelicans, ¿de acuerdo? Tenemos a Luka Doncic contra los Pelicans, que bueno, no ha empezado tan bien.
Estamos esperando el regreso de Zion, que todavía parece ser que tardará un poquito, el de Kyrie.
El de Kyrie en el partido que vamos a hablar
Exacto,
ahora. Domingo a las 9.
El domingo a las 9, Denver Nuggets contra Brooklyn Nets. Puede ser que vuelva a Kyrie Irving, esperemos que sí, de su lesión, y si no, siempre es un espectáculo.
Ahí tenemos a Nikola Jokic, un jugador que hace maravillas en una pista, las mismas maravillas que hacía Steve Nash.
Con un cuerpo diferente, pero la misma cabeza que Steve Nash.
Sí, un basketball IQ, ¿no? Esa palabra que está tanto de moda, que nos hace disfrutar.
Esperemos que os haya gustado el vídeo, este vídeo tan especial con un invitado tan especial, y que os lo hayáis pasado tan bien como nosotros. Nosotros volvemos la semana que viene y hasta la próxima. ¿Habéis roto algo?
Casi.
¿Está bien Steve Nash? Steve Nash está bien. Hasta luego, adiós.